Alright, so here's the console you sent to me. So I'm looking at the HDMI part. It doesn't actually look bad. So normally in this case, connects it to power, make sure it turns on. It should go to a blue light and then it should go to a white light. And then you hold the power button a little bit and it will put itself to sleep. That indicates that it's working properly, and it probably is just a visual issue. I already tested that and that does seem to be the case. So let's go ahead and take it apart. All right, now for this sticker, that is a warranty breaking sticker. So what I'm gonna do is use the hot air station, and I'm gonna keep the hot air gun away from it because I don't want to melt the plastic. Considering the temperature that the hot air station is at, could easily burn. And I should lower it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to hold it far away and take the seal off. All right, so I kind of failed to do it. You can see a little bit of the seal did come off, but you know, oh well. So if you do successfully do it, it's important not to let this go back down because it will re-stick, and then you will have to either use the hot air station again or rip the warranty. Alright, now for the fun part. Obviously you don't have to do this, but I like to mark all the holes that don't have screws in them because I get confused. And don't forget that this one screw right here is black for some reason. Actually, the reason is because it goes into the plastic. And these other ones just go into the metal. See? Plastic. All right, now when you take the motherboard out, you really want to be conscious of the liquid metal. There have been cases where people have done simple HDMI port replacements and it stopped working because liquid metal had leaked out onto areas it shouldn't be. So just make sure you're conscious of that. Alright, so you don't want it up on the sponge, but it's not terrible. You do notice that there is a dry spot here. That's not good. Alright, that's about as good as I could get it. I am very careful about this because I don't carry extra liquid metal. Alright, so now I'm going to switch over to the microscope.
Alright, so now I'm testing the pins. You can see it doesn't actually need a replacement, it just needs to be resoldered, but I'm going to replace it for the purpose of this video. So here I'm applying the removal alloy, and I did not plan this out, but the pores started coming out without even having to use hot air. You can see when I'm doing this right side. Alright, right here I kind of messed up. That little cap right there, you don't want to take it off. I took it off. It's not really a big a deal. You can just replace it after you replace the HDMI port, but no fun. So I went to the back and then I just used my soldering iron to take it off. No rework station. And then I actually had trouble with the wick to get this last hole clear, so I went ahead and skipped that. Don't want to bore you. Alright, so now we're putting the port on. Nice and simple, straightforward. I'm using the micro pencil. I like to do the single pin soldering. It just makes it so that I can make sure that all the pins get the solder they need and they have a clear and strong connection. And clean up after myself, check the pins, make sure they're all solid, and then solder the legs on. And always check the top side of the HDMI port after you solder the legs on to make sure that the solder actually goes all the way through to hold it all the way on. Checking the pins one more time, and then replacing that capacitor that I took off. And it's done.
Alright, now that the soldering is done, you need to go ahead and test it. So before you put it back, just take like one last look, make sure there is no liquid metal roaming around anywhere. That could cause an issue. Alright, so unfortunately I didn't get to show you use of the rework station, but I mean, that just shows how easily the HDMI port comes off, especially compared to the Xbox and the Switch. Since the Switch has 2 rows that you need to worry about, and the Xbox has a front row that you need to worry about when desoldering. Forgot to put this back. What a loser.